Time.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Super excited today. Please, after saying your greetings, please put your mic on mute. I want everybody to put their mic on mute after saying your meeting, after saying your greetings. We're
Yeah,
super,
hi. Hi, everybody.
hi, Miss
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Christopher. How's
Uh,
everyone?
today,
Morning,
Pamela,
Caps.
today, Daya, I just listened because I am outside.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Today is
thank you.
actually for listening, to be honest,
Yeah, okay,
because
thank you.
we're gonna keep it quiet so that we can focus
Yeah,
on our guest speaker
okay,
for today.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So who's excited in the chat? Let me see those
Me.
claps. Let me see those claps roll in the chat if you're excited. Let me see those claps. If you're driving, please don't do nothing. Please, we love you. Don't do anything. Just watch. Just listen on. Don't even watch. Just listen. Okay. We are super excited to have Precious with us today. Let me tell you all a little bit about Precious before I actually give her the mic because of course she's on time. Now, this is how you can tell the people, even before they get successful, the people that are going to be successful are usually on time. Like they don't play with time. Like when you see people that are always on times, if something hasn't come, something is coming. Okay. So she's already in the audience. I'm super, super proud of her. But I want to do a official introduction of who Precious is. So Precious is a Nigerian based in the United States. She came to based in the UK. She traveled to the UK 3 years ago. Precious, when you get here, let me know if I'm wrong. And she came, I think, on the basis of student visa. She found her way into the digital product journey. I think she said she was already on social media. And I remember her story, the story that she told that made me connect to her. I'm going to tell you that story, and she's going to retell it if I say it wrong. But this is the power of storytelling. She said she remembers the day that she was leaving Nigeria, and she was on the phone call with her dad. And while she was on the phone call with her dad, while her dad was talking, she couldn't focus because she was too focused on the roof of her family house. And if you don't know what a family house is in Nigeria, everybody has a family house. That's why you can't be homeless where we come from, because everybody has somewhere that you come from that you can live rent free. So she said she was focused on the roof of how the roof, what you can see that the roof is leaking and it's just old. It needs to be renovated. And she made an intention that day. She said, I'll be the one to renovate. I'll be the one to upgrade this. I'm not happy that I'm leaving my dad in this condition, something like that, right? And because she had that intention, right? She got to the UK. We all know how lonely the UK is. And she started on her digital product journey. She built an awesome community of thousands and thousands and thousands of women and men that learn how to turn their phone literally into ATMs. Within 1 year time frame, she has been able to make $1 million, £1 million. I'm so used to dollars. £1 million in sales and more from that part of her digital asset. She has multiple stores. But I'm super proud of her because a lot of times when people make income, they think about themselves first. But when Precious made her income, she thought about her parents first. She thought about the promise that she made to her parents first. She went back home and she from scratch she broke the old house that her parents were living in and she rebuilt the whole house from scratch, a modern day family house. I'm talking about a 30-year-old. She literally just turned 30. She was still in her 20s when she did this. So right now, I want us all to give it up for Precious, Coach Precious, as I hand over the mic to her, and we are going to start the class today. This is going to be like um interview kind of style. So I'm going to be guiding her thoughts so you guys can start taking your notes. Make sure everybody, I don't see the claps in the chat. I don't see the hearts. I don't see the celebrations. I want to see it. And I want everybody to comment in the chat. Welcome. Welcome to the village. That's why I want everybody to comment in the chat. I want her to feel the warm welcome inside the screen as close as we can get. I want her to know that she is loved in this village. I want her to know that this village, she is part of the village and she inspires. I know for a fact that she inspires me a lot. Like a lot of times when I don't feel like doing what I want to do, when I see her on live, I'm like, okay, here goes Precious again. I think I have to do something. Let me go back and go to my life. Like you always have to have somebody that you look up to that gives you inspiration. And Precious is one of them. Precious, you can unmute yourself and let's get to know you.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Daya. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing?
We're doing awesome and amazing.
I think you've done the best part. Do I still need to say anything
Yes,
again for
say,
this call
say,
today? Okay. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm always excited when I am in the midst of people who have made a decision, a conscious decision to be better financially and otherwise. Yes, my name is Precious Willingham. I live in the UK. I moved to the UK 2023 on something called a skilled worker visa. So I came to the UK to be a carer. And if you don't know that, that is one of the lowest paying jobs ever in the UK. And one thing that happened to me when I moved to the UK on this visa was I quickly realized how fast I was becoming one of those people who would live abroad and not be able to make ends meet. You know, I was no longer that auntie that lives abroad. I could no longer remember that uncle and auntie that lives abroad that doesn't send anything home. I now became that person who, I saw how difficult it was to be abroad and trying to survive on a care job, which, was a very, very terrible time. And I knew quickly that I had to do something about it. And I think that is one of the biggest thing that can happen. A lot of people don't know that there is a problem until, it's too late. The earlier you are able to realize that there is a problem, then you can do something about it. So if I did not realize that my income was not doing much, I would have never been able to say, you know what, I need to do something different. So I think it was a good one on my end that I was able to realize how fast I was living paycheck to paycheck and I needed to do something about it. So, yes. And of course, the digital world saved me. It's been a beautiful journey. It doesn't, I'm not going to say it's been perfect, but it's been the best thing ever. It has changed my life and the life of other people that I know. A lot of people, I've seen people move from nothing to something. I'm even a living proof of that. So I'm really excited to be here. And I hope that you're going to pick out one or two things from our discussion today and put it into practice, learn from it, and I'm hoping that there'll be a change. So, yes, I'll let Idaya continue.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Precious. So I want to know, like the audience want to know, the village wants to know, yeah. What
Mhm.
is the biggest mindset shift that changed your financial trajectory? Like, what was that one thing that just changed everything for you that you think, especially immigrants, should know?
So like I said before, I came on a skilled worker visa, which meant that I could just do care jobs. And I remember something that happened at work one day. I think that was the first day I came back home and I sat down and I thought about it. There was a lady, because in my head, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till I get my citizenship. I'm just going to wait for things to get better, get my stay, and then I'll do something about it. And I remember one incident that happened at work with a Nigerian who is a British, and she was a carer as well. And we were having back and forth with, picking over time, extra shift because the rota had just come out. And she said something to me, you that just came to this country how many months ago? Because I was barely a year in the UK. I've been here for over 15 years. And it was something to humble me, to let me know that, oh, I'm a citizen, or, I should be getting this and not you. And I sat down and I'm like, okay, being a citizen is not going to change my financial life. If I continue thinking that I have to have my papers and I have to have this and life has to be perfect before I do something to change my life, then I'm going to end up in this same situation in the next couple of years, speaking to another fresh immigrant that I have been here for a long time. Because, not to judge, but the situation of things between me and that lady who was British or who is British was almost the same thing. We were both struggling to survive. So I think that was one of the things that shook me. And I'm like, no, I have to step up my game financially. I have to think outside of the box. There has to be another way. That was one of the biggest mindset shift. And that was like a wake up call for me to realize that if you don't want to be like the people before you, you have to do something different that the people before you did not do. So I did not want to end up like that. And I'm like, okay, I have to do something different. And yes, when the opportunity came, I grabbed it.
I love that. If you don't want to be like the people before you have to do something different to get a different result, right?
Yeah. Mm.
And it has been said by, these English people that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again,
You get the
you're
same result.
expecting a different result. That's called insanity. In order to get a different result, you have to do something different. Absolutely. I love that. So, how were you able to build your audience and attract your first paying customer? I want you to go back to that very first day that you created the UWA, right?
Mm. There was a program before the UWA. My journey
Okay.
didn't start with the UWA.
Okay. So, the first program that you created,
Mm.
who was the first sign up? How did you get that first audience? Because I feel like that's where people get stuck. Like,
Mm.
nobody's going to listen to me. Like, I don't have proof. I don't have proof.
Mhm.
Nobody's going to listen to me because I have nothing to show for it. Like, how
Mhm.
were you able to pull your first audience, especially that number one person in?
I always tell people, a lot of people forget that they have people already. People keep looking for strangers to come to their rescue, to come and buy their digital products. Meanwhile, your husband at home does not even know that you have a digital product that you've created. Your friends don't know that you have a digital product you created. Charity begins from home. They are the first people that would recommend your product. They are the first people that will give you reviews. They are the first people that will, be people who would share on. And that's if you have genuine people around you. Now, I got my first paying client for my first ever digital product on WhatsApp. And I just made a simple post on WhatsApp about my digital product at the time. It was on my story, the same story people like to post their kids, their family. If I'm posting on WhatsApp, I'm either posting to close sales, I'm either posting to make people aware of a program that I'm doing that will be paid for. I'm either posting, yes, I have fun sometimes, post sometimes, but you know, I don't treat WhatsApp like a place where I just catch fun because my paying customers are also on WhatsApp. So I posted on WhatsApp about my digital product and I just explained. And the way I posted, there was so much um enthusiasm from me. Like I didn't just write it like so I posted and I know somebody sent me a message and she was like, Oh, tell me more about this. And I said, are you free for a call? Because I was a beginner. I had all the time in the world. It's not now that, oh, you have to pay me to speak to me. Then I would have time to chase you. So I was like, are you free for a call? Because I know some deals you close over the phone. You don't want to have a text and somebody drops their phone. And I was like, and success loves speed. So immediately she messaged me. I was like, are you free for a call? And she said yes. So I called her and I started walking her through my product. And I said, can I share my screen with you? She said yes. And I shared my screen and I walked her through. I showed her every single thing she needed to know. I showed her the value side of my product. And by the end of that call, I made a $222 sales. That's my first ever sale that I made. It was $222 just because I posted on WhatsApp. And when I got a response, I followed it up with immediate action and I explained it. I was hungry to make it work for me. So when I got the first interest, I didn't just leave it at, okay, it's just this, it's just that. No, I followed up with action until I was able to close that sale. So that was how I got my first ever sale. And this was like a day after I had just started my digital marketing journey. So I made my first sale like the next day, immediate next day, and it's just been good from there. So
So
yes.
what you are saying, Precious, what I hear you say is that you did not have any reviews before you closed your first deal.
No, I led with the value of my product.
You led
Because
with the value.
if you understand the value your product has, see, you can have $1 million sales or $1 million on your store. If you don't have clarity in the pitching of your product, nobody is going to buy it except you're selling a get rich quick or you are trying to advertise Ponzi. So you do not need to have a first sale to make your first sale, right? You just need to understand what your product will do for the person. And when you lead with that value, nobody is coming to now ask you, how much have you made?
Mm,
No, because you are already, you know your product so well and you know what your product will do for that person that you don't need to flaunt money for the person to buy your product. And that was how I made my first sale.
I like that you said that because the last meeting that we had in the town hall in the village last week, somebody insisted that, oh, people won't believe you when you don't have reviews. I said, you all realize that we all started with 0 reviews. When I
Exactly.
got on TikTok, I had 0. And I like that you talked about using your contacts to get your first sales. A lot of times we forget that we have like 500 phone numbers on our phone. We
Some
forget
people
that
have 1,000.
yep, we forget that we see people's status on WhatsApp every single day. That same status could make you your first sale. One of my students, she's actually faced this. She made her first $500 the second day that she got into the Boss Up formula from a text message in a book club on WhatsApp. The next day, she woke up to 1,700. Within 12 days, with just that one group, she made $6,700. Just testing. She didn't launch. She didn't call the public. She didn't go live. She didn't put it on TikTok. Like, I feel like a lot of people overthink the process.
Mhm.
And I think that sometimes it just makes you comfortable to overthink and find that excuse so you don't execute. So that has just given you all another perspective of what I tell you all the time. Like, you don't need review. You don't, nobody wakes up with reviews. Your review will be the first person, and your value is what you sell first.
Should I
Okay.
even add that I have a student who made over £1,000
Mm-hmm.
in her first week
Mm-hmm.
just by posting on Facebook groups. You know, all of these Facebook groups that people belong
Mm-hmm.
to, she was in one of these many Facebook groups. There are some for women, there are some for people in diaspora, there are some. She just posted about her product, talked to immigrants living abroad, crafted it so well because if you see an advertisement online, it is well put together. So she crafted her message very well, and now we have the help of ChatGPT. So you don't have to be the smartest in the room to make money. You know, she crafted her message so well, posted it, and before you knew it, everybody was in that post asking for the link to her product. And that was how she made her first 1,000 sales. You know, when we say these things, a lot of people think you have to be James Bond or you have to be, no. It just the little things, you know, you have to be resourceful as somebody who wants to make money. You don't give rooms for excuses. You have to sit and ask yourself, what have I not done? What option do I have available to me that I can do? Anyways, when we get further into the discussion, I'll talk about this. Yeah, but
Okay,
yeah.
so my next question will be if you had to start over again
Mhm,
in another country with no audience, where would you start? And I feel like you've already answered this, but you can answer it in like a more shorter
mhm.
form so that the people that are starting from fresh, they know exactly where they can start as well.
If I'm going to start afresh in another country
And you don't know anybody.
and I don't know anybody, I will start with the same thing that like, I wouldn't even go to put out any application. And if I lost all my audience today on social media, I'm going to create another account and I'm going to start from scratch because social media is all about building. If you want to build, you will build. If you want to grow, you will grow. And who has 1,000 followers today will have 5,000 in the next 2 months or 1 month if they put in the work. So if I'm starting afresh with everything I know now, in fact, it will even be easier for me. The mistakes I made in the past, I won't make it anymore. So I always tell people I'm not afraid to start afresh, but I won't do anything other than what I'm doing now because I don't think any job can pay me, what I make from digital products. Nothing can give me that. And that's one of the reasons I haven't gone into, okay, I'll leave that. But yes, I will do absolutely the same thing I'm doing now. In fact, with even more focus, because I will launch. It took me over a year to get into digital marketing when I moved to the UK. So imagine how much I would have made if I had started the first day I moved to this country. So yeah.
So that leads us to one of the things you would have done better is started quicker.
Yep.
Okay. So that leads us to our next question. What mistakes do you think immigrants make when trying to build wealth abroad?
Um,
A lot of people, I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I would say it's a limiting belief. A lot of people they have this limiting mindset, limiting belief. There's this invisible gates that they've put around them. And some of them don't even believe they are capable of creating wealth. They don't believe that it is possible. And first things first, if you don't believe that something is going to work for you, it's not going to work for you. So a lot of people will say, oh, I have two babies. I have this. It's because I'm not fine. It's because I'm not young. It's because every excuse you have, there's somebody that has more and has chosen that they will use it to their advantage. I always tell people, if you say your children are the reasons why you're not able to dedicate time and do this business, I have a mentee who will put her daughter on the back
Mhm,
and she'll be on her live stream
mhm,
and she'll be selling her product. I have another one in America who has two boys
mhm.
and her children will be crying in the background and she'll tell them, I'm sorry. I have my babies. Let me go and attend to them. And she runs and she comes back and she's saying, you see, I'm doing this as a mother of two. You are even going to convince people better.
That's her selling point. That's her
If
unique
yeah,
selling point.
yes, you are even going to convince people better if they can fit themselves into the shoes that you're walking. The reason why I was able to close a lot of sales, especially to people who were doing care or who are doing care is because I know everything about care. I know how difficult it is. When I say my story, they can relate. So instead of I said the only time I tell my story is to make money. I don't tell it so that you pity me and tell me
It's
sorry.
not going to be for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. So every time I talk about my story or talk about that thing that embarrasses me, is because I want to close sales. So I use my story to my advantage. And that is why, when we talk about storytelling, your story is one of the most important things that you have. It is not something not everything is for the public consumption, but some of the stories you are sitting on, is the reason why you would make your next 10,000, your next 100,000. But because I don't want anybody to know I'm a single mom. I don't want anybody to know. Meanwhile, single mothers are using it to sell their products.
Yep.
Single mothers are using it to close that sales. People who are going through that and earning from it because they are telling their story in a way that does not attract pity. They are using it as a powerful tool that can help them close sales. So one of the struggles or mistake you can make is to believe that there is something about you that is unworthy for you to create wealth, because everything that you think is a limitation is a powerful tool that you can use, you can channel. Oh, my nose is big. You see, with my big nose, I'm here. You that have big nose, come. This is why you should buy this product. Is it because of this? You have to believe, first of all. So, if there's something you would take away today, understand that if you don't believe that a business works, if you don't believe that you can make it, then even if you are looking at the opportunity right in front of you, you'll be too scared to take it. So don't be that person that uses, Igbo people will say, Agada Bachiruzo. You are the person standing in your own way. You are the one closing your own door. So the moment you make up your mind that you are going to break free from whatever it is that is holding you, that is one of the first, because there are a lot of immigrants. If you tell them today that you made 100,000 in a month, they'll call you a liar. That's
Scam,
that's
scam.
yeah, they'll call you a scam because that's a belief that they don't even think it is
It's
possible. So it's
impossible
a
to them. Like,
mindset thing. Yeah. So even when you tell them, oh, I made there was a day, okay, let's leave that. When you tell people that,
say
oh,
it, Precious. Remember the webinar that you did? In one day, you
yeah,
made £100,000.
that I made
In one day.
100K in 4 hours.
In
Not
one day, in 4 hours.
four
She was
hours.
exhausted after the 4 hours, but she made £100,000 that
Pounds,
four
not
hours.
dollars. So that's over $100,000 that I
Oh,
made
that's
in
like a
four
hundred
hours.
and probably like 115,000 something.
Yeah, ish.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's not something I can come out and tell people because
No, mm-mm.
the first time people heard that I made 100K in a month, there's no word that they didn't call me,
Mhm.
but that just goes to show you that a lot of immigrants have already failed in their mind before they even fail in real life.
Ooh, say that again, Precious. Say it again,
It
please.
shows you that a lot of immigrants have failed in their mind before they fail in real life. So if you're somebody who even has not made 10,000 online, but you believe that it is possible that you can make it, then it is only going to be a matter of time, strategy, and implementation before you can make it. But if you see figures and you are scared of figures, how can you attain it? I always tell my mentees that money is number. If you're able to do your maths properly, you make your money, right? If I want to make 100K in a month, I know what to do. If I want to make 30,000 in a month, I know what to do. If I don't want to make anything in a month, I still know what to do. So if you are good with your calculations, you are intentional and you don't let anything hold you back, you have the greatest gifts that you can have. And
So
yes,
from what you just put together, if I was to paraphrase it, is it's their mindset. Like the
the
greatest mistake you
mindset.
can ever make is to have a limited belief. And I like to channel it to beliefs and religion and spirituality, right? You say you believe in God. You say, regardless of what God you serve, the God that you serve is an abundant God. He can give you anything. If he can give you 16 children, he definitely can give you 16 million. Like there's no difference between child and money. They are all God's blessing and you can get it in abundance. But somehow people disconnect money when it comes to, oh, I'm asking God for something. They think, oh, it's easy to get children, but it's not easy to get. Like it just disconnects. And I think, just like you said, it's back from our roots. I feel like we were raised to believe that money is scarce. And whatever you believe, you become. When we were growing up, right, because of scarce resources, they're like, when you ask for money, they're like, money doesn't grow on trees, da, 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 da. And you already were built, it was built in you to
It's a
believe that
conditioning.
money doesn't grow on trees. But that was a lie because money does grow on trees because Money is made out of paper. There's no day that you go to the bank and you say, I want to cash out my money. And they say, there's no money to cash out. Come back later. No, all they have to do is print more, deliver it to the bank, and you get your money. We're the ones making this money. We're just making this stuff up in our head. Like, it's not that serious. And the mindset is absolutely everything, especially our immigrants that believe that hard work alone will make you wealthy. I usually tell people, look back to the aunties and the uncles that you met in America, that you met in the UK. They're hardworking. They be picking up all the overtime, but they're still broke. And on top of that, they're broken. That is why when they see people that are doing well, they're bitter because they're thinking, how dare you? Like, we've been working hard all our life. How dare
you know how many times I've been said, people have said that to me?
Yeah.
That
how dare
you
you
that just came.
Yeah.
We that we've been here.
What's that place called that you guys go to in the UK to get luxury stuff? How dare you
Harrods.
How dare you go to Aaron to go get a Gucci bag? How dare you? I've been in the UK for 20 years. I've never stepped my foot there. Who sent you? Who asked you? Who? I don't understand.
It's your decision. It's a choice that you've made.
The mindset of, I went through hardship. Every immigrant should be going through hardship before they succeed. Nobody send you work. It should be getting better. Just like you pay for your children to have ease, you should think that same thing for people that are like your younger sister and as young as your children to have ease. It should be getting better. It shouldn't be getting more difficult. But yeah, everything is the condition of the mind. And I absolutely love the way you explained it. So another question. What are the daily habits as a millionaire, Precious? Mm-hmm. What are the daily habits and systems that helped you scale from selling your $222 digital product that was made by somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. To now making $100,000 in a day? What are the habits?
One of the biggest habits I have is to show up regardless of how I feel. A lot of times when I show up for my business, and even within my community, when I still go for classes, I run classes, I may not be in the best of mood. But if we follow our moods, we will be broke. A lot of people.
Say that again, please, Precious. Say that. I didn't mean to disrupt, but say it again for the people at the back.
If we follow our moods, we'll be broke. And dare I say, we will die broke. A lot of people who end up not achieving are people who, I'm not in the mood for this. I don't feel up to it. I don't. And life does not wait for people who are in the mood for things. It's opportunity. See, I was trying to book my practical test the other day, and there are a lot of the slots are so limited. You have to be on the platform, and when you see a slot, you go grab it. The slot is not there waiting for who feels up to it or who is not, because when that opportunity is looking at you, your customer is waiting for you to come live streaming. You say you are not in the mood, you are on the bed. The person that has shown up will close that sales.
Even if they have poor quality, they will make money. And you
have the finest,
broke.
If you have the finest products in your shop and you lock your shop and you are sleeping every day, somebody will come around at your shop and they will pass that shop and they will go to the next store that is open and they will purchase their products there. Every time you want to be in the best of moods, the best of feeling, you will not get anything achieved, because I always tell people life is not perfect. Even to me that I've made over $1 million, life is still not perfect. There are days I cry. There are days I'm sad. There are days I have problems. There will never be a time you say, oh, life is good, everything is rosy. Oh, okay, now is the time. No, you have to go and achieve what you want, not by waiting for when you feel up to it. You have to be somebody who is consistent despite the odds. The days you feel like going, you show up. The days you don't feel like going, you show up. The days you are in the best of mood, you show up. The days you are not in the best of mood, you still show up, because your business does not run on feelings. Your business runs on action. It runs on you fueling it. It runs on consistency. And that is one of the habits that have made me. And showing up is not just, but I tell people, oh, seeing me on a live stream is not just me showing up. Sometimes I have to work behind the scenes to make sure that when I do show up, I make sales. I have to prepare other things. So I'm not somebody who sits around. If I notice that I've been on my phone for too long, I'm thinking of what other productive thing can I do? I don't, and I think another habit I have is I've surrounded myself with people who are like minds. If you check my contact today, the three people that I've called today are people who are in the same business as I am, are people that when I talk about digital products, they understand.
Sorry to cut you short,
Yeah.
Precious. So for the people on the TikTok that you're saying you can't hear, I intentionally put you on mute. I gave you free game already. If you want to hear Precious, if you want to be in my village, click the link in my bio to join the village. It's called the Digital Boss Village. You get 7 days free trial. So if you want to join now, you can go ahead and hop in and I'll accept you in the Zoom the moment you get inside the village. So it's intentional. Go ahead, Precious.
Okay. So I surround myself with people who are doing the same thing that I am doing, because I am their biggest inspiration. They also, I draw strength from them. There are people that, some people get into this business and then the next thing they're talking to one of their friends that they don't even want to be like financially. And now I say, you went to buy, hey, they've cut your, hey, and then you tell them, oh, I want to try and go like, they say, you will get big head. You want to go, hey, and you don't know how that kills you gradually. You feel like you're having friendly banter. You feel like you are you are with somebody you're familiar with. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. So, you have to cultivate the habit of showing up despite how you feel, and the habit of having people who are on the same journey, who share the same vision that you share, who understand your goals and aspiration, who have the same beliefs that you have, so that when you feel confused, there's somebody to call. When you feel like, oh, this is that. The other time I was trying to work on a new digital product that I was creating, and I called my friend and I'm like, oh, have you tried this app before? And she said, no, 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 this one is better. And that is the kind of people you want to have around you. You want to have people that share the same goal. If you haven't, then be intentional about getting involved with people who have the same mindset as you. In your village, look around, make friends, get accountability partners, people that can, that can encourage you to do something, that can say, okay, I'm going live today, come and sit on my box. Oh, tomorrow I'm coming live, come and sit on my box. That's how you grow. And you have to show up, cultivate the habit of showing up, because the more you try something, the better you become at it. A lot of people will say, oh, I went live, only one person was there. That's because that's your first time. By the time you go there consistently, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I used to have a mentee that when she goes live, before she even says hello, the person has disappeared. Right now, when she's on live stream, she can't even count the number of people there, because they keep coming in from zero to one person she used to get. Now she has over 200. Sometimes she even has more viewers than I do. And that's because when you keep doing something repeatedly, the algorithm recognizes that, okay, you are taking this seriously. The algorithm rewards hard work. It does not reward you come today, the next day you come is the next day market day. No, you have to be consistent. And if you think it is such a hard work, then try being broke. You will see that it is you cannot compare having the life that you dream of to being broke. So yeah.
Absolutely. If you think being consistent for your own build business to build legacy that somebody else can inherit, try being broke.
Mm.
Feel like we have all experienced being broke. And I want to go back to one point that you said. I wanted to say a point on that because I wrote it down. You said people are always finding excuses not to execute. I tell my students that the excuse is actually the reason why you should be executing. If you are broke at 61, you should be executing like nobody else. If you have 4 children, $40, it's in my bag. If you have 4 children, right here, my purse right here, in the envelopes, check the envelopes. If you have 4 children and you are saying the reason why you're not staying consistent is because of your 4 children, the reason why you should be showing up is because of your 4 children, so that your 4 children don't have to go through what you went through, so that they don't have to start from scratch, so that you can actually be present as a mom for your 4 children and not busy packing overtime that is still going to leave you broke. Now, you said something that I always say, but I say it in a different way. So I'm just going to add on to what you said. You said they should be consistent, right? They should take their feelings out of their business. There is one saying that I say all the time that puts all of this together. Does anybody know that saying? It says, stick to what? Does anybody know what I say? I say it all the time. You guys should be able to say it in your sleep. Like, because if you stick to the formula, not to your feelings is going to keep you failing. The formula is going to create fortunes. When you stick to the formula, you need to learn how to dissociate your feelings with your business, because your bills are going to show up boldly, regardless of how you feel. Your children are going to need to feed, regardless of how you feel. So as a business owner, you need to learn how to separate your feelings away from your business, because your business doesn't care. Those bills have to be paid, right? Just like, and it's easy. It's funny because people already practice this, Precious. People go to work tired. They break a leg and still go to work. They don't care about their feelings in that moment, because in their head, they feel like there is a consequence if they don't show up. They're going to lose their job. But because they are the owner of the business, they feel like they can do whatever they want. So I tell people, treat your business like your job. Because when you don't show up, you do no call, no show multiple times at work, you're going to lose that job. It's the same thing for your business. You're going to lose customers. The customers that you don't have, you're already losing them. If people could be as serious as they're to their business and as humble to their business as they are to other people's businesses, aka jobs, they'll be successful. They will be, just like you said, they will be. So another question: what beliefs about money do people need to let go of before they can build wealth? What beliefs about money do you think people need to let go of before they can build wealth?
So it still boils down to what I had said before, you know. You have to believe that it is not outside of your capacity to create wealth. You know, a lot of people don't believe that they you see, you did mention the Bible, spirituality before, and I wanted to say that even the Bible, that because I'm a Christian, even in the Bible, there is a chapter of the Bible, a verse of the Bible that says that God has given us the power to create wealth. If God has given us the power to create wealth, why are you not exercising your power? Why are you not exercising your right? You know, so money can be made by anybody, especially you. You just have to forget about the traditional way of making money. I think that is one of the mindset shift that can happen to you. Now, I'm not saying quit your jobs, you know, but stop relying on just the traditional way. If it is not applying for a job on a job website or getting multiple jobs, I cannot create wealth. If you are somebody who is juggling 3 jobs right now, you are wrong, because you could focus on one and then use the spare time to create a life that will pay you better than that three jobs put together. So there's no reason why in this day and age you are not exercising your power to create wealth. And I don't want you to think that this is one of those inspire to aspire to perspire. This is fact. See, I've seen 50-year-olds do this. I think one of my mentees that really shocked me last year, September, she joined me last year, September, was a lady who had four children, who is a medical doctor, not practicing anymore, and made over £100,000 in 5 months. This person did not even have TikTok as at when she started her journey. It was during one of our one-to-one session. I was like, you know what? Go and create a TikTok account. Leave Instagram. Instagram is too difficult to build, especially if you don't know what to post. Go to TikTok. TikTok will favor you more. TikTok will, and she started and she was coachable. She was coachable. Be as hungry as you claim you are. Don't just be somebody that always wants things but never acts on what you want. I want to make money. I don't know how this as you're saying it, as hungry as you sound, that's how your actions should show. You cannot be saying that you want financial freedom, you want to be able to make extra 5,000 a month, and then your action is showing that you deserve the life that you have settled for. Because what you settle for, you deserve it anyways. So if you keep saying I want to do this thing, but your habits every day, your actions every day, this decision you are making every day reflects why your paycheck is what it is, your income is what it is, then you have an inner problem. So you need to exercise your power to create wealth. Remove that mindset that if it is not my employer paying me, if it is not me waiting every 2 weeks or every month to get paid, I will not be able to make something. That is one step to your next level. Another thing I want to say is that you should also not be afraid of investing in yourself. There are a lot of people that want to make money, but to spend the money to make the money is a problem. You tell them, oh, you need to download this app. Oh, is it a free app? That's the language of somebody that has no intention to grow. Because I've never seen somebody who wants to start a business and then you tell them that, and then they tell you, do I have to pay for shop rent? That's how you sound when you ask, is the app free? Is this one free? Is this one free? It shows that you have no intention to make money. You are just, because somebody who is intentional about creating wealth. If somebody says pay this now to go and sit and go there, I will pay. Oh, if somebody says pay this to get access to this circle, I will pay. Maybe because I have made a lot of money. But even before then, it was a mindset that now money then they take fine money. So be somebody who is intentional about investing in yourself, getting more knowledge, paying for things that should be paid for, and then being smart about your finances so that you can make more. But if you are scared to spend money, the money will not even come to you in the first place. So yeah.
I love that you hit that because a lot of times people think that when they pay for one thing, that thing should serve for
You should solve all the problems in the world.
So let me give for example, like, okay, you paid to learn how to create an ebook, but you don't know how to use a computer. That's on you, not on the person that taught you how to create an ebook.
Mhm.
Your responsibility to invest in yourself to go learn how to use the computer. If you get a one-on-one opportunity that somebody is willing and you're paying $100 and somebody's willing to sit with you and teach you what you know, why are you not investing in yourself? And I take it back to it's less of self-value. When you don't value yourself as a person, you don't invest in yourself. Like I tell people all the time, when you expect everything to be free, your bank balance is going to be free of cash. Like,
should I add something? Last year I had a 2 months break because I was planning for my wedding and stuff. And by the time I got back, imposter syndrome has come into the picture. I felt so, oh, because I wasn't doing what I used to do again. So I had a lot of doubt. And I know that I needed to speak to someone. I had already spoken to my close circle, but I was speaking to them for free. So, it was just like
Yeah, when you
anything.
don't pay, you
And
don't pay attention.
yes. So, and then there was this young lady, I just said, you know what? I'm going to book her for a one-to-one. And I was going to speak to her. And then she said, to speak to me, you need to buy my program. It's 300 and something pounds. And I paid. And before that,
When I needed to speak to you, what
mhm,
happened?
you paid.
When you needed to speak to me, what happened?
I paid.
Why didn't you say, oh, I'm making more money than her? There's no sense that she can give me, or why would I have to pay when I could literally coach her stuff? Like
Yeah.
people think that you get to a certain stage where I've paid for this, so nothing
Yeah.
else I need to pay for.
Yeah.
Everything just fall in my lap now that I've paid this price.
Yeah.
It
And do you know the lady that I paid for? I had made way more money than her.
yeah,
But you see, in this business, as long as that person is succeeding, there's something that they are doing that if you add it to what you're already doing, you will
you're
do
going
more.
you're going
You will do more. So it's not a case of, oh, I've made more money than this person. Why should I speak to this person? No. Because in exams, if you ask questions and they give you what's to add to what you already know, you will do more than the person that has given to you.
yes.
So what that lady was doing at the time that I wasn't doing was sales funneling. And maybe at a different session if I'm able to come back, we can do that. It was sales funneling. I wasn't doing sales funnels. And it was a 15-minute session. A 15-minute session. And we talked. By the end of the session, I was like, hey, my 300 and
For
something.
£300. Because
Yes. Yeah, I had to buy her program. So it wasn't just for the 15 minutes.
oh,
So
okay.
she said, oh, buy my program. You will get access to speak to me. So she booked me in for her 15 minutes after I bought it. So I didn't need her program, but I needed to
You
speak to
needed
her.
to speak to
And
her.
I
So
had
you
to
literally
buy
paid
the
that
program,
300 to talk to her.
yeah, to get access to her. And do you know that when I started my journey, I made 100,000 in the first month. And after that month, I never made 100,000 again. When I launched again in September, after that 15 minutes, I was so powered up. I did and this is why I said the power of being coachable. Some people listen, and that's the end of it. You see, this session now, there are people that this session will change the game for them. And there are people that after this session, they'll go and warm member, because it is that's the programming. I'm just here to hear. So every single thing she said to me, I implemented.
You took
My
your
sales funnel video, I booked an Airbnb, I went to film, I did everything step by step. And in 3 weeks, because I launched again on the 8th of September 2025, in 3 weeks, I made 100,000 that I made in March. The last time I made was in March,
just because you paid that
300
300.
and something pounds.
The month that I paid one coach $10,000, that same month I made $60,000.
When you invest
Something
in
about it.
yourself,
When you pay for information, you take it more seriously. You are pumped. You
hmm,
know what you're doing because somebody else has used their eyes to look at it. You have a
mhm,
vision, you have that clarity. You're ready to go. You are going. Nobody's stopping you. Nothing can stop. And that's how you
exactly.
fire on. But when you're sitting on the fence, like, oh, I'm already in a program and I'm already paying, so I don't need to. You just got to be in one place.
You just no, you'll be stuck and you'll be there. So the moment I paid, and please don't pay if you have no intentions to execute,
Yeah, that's another thing.
because that's a waste of money. Because I could have as well done that session with the young lady. She was 19 at the time. The
Yeah,
lady I spoke to, she was 19. So, the moment I followed everything through. And you see, it's already in you. You just need that little do this, do that, do this, do that. And I added it to what I already knew.
you.
And it blossomed for me. And that is just the power of investing. So don't be that person that would spend $100 eating out, eating junk, but you will never want to pay for an app that can give you a better result when it comes to creating a product or a software or paid advertisement or something that will push your digital journey a little bit further. Prioritize what you spend your money on. If it's not going to give you a returning income, then think twice about it. But if it is something that stands the chance of changing the game for you, then don't think twice. And when you pay for it, make it work for you, So yeah.
That's absolutely correct. When you pay attention. Now, the next 10 minutes, I want us to pretend, Precious, it's just me and you in the room, and you're coaching me as my coach. So the next 8 questions, you're going to answer it because a lot of times students don't see coaches being coached. So I want my students to see me being coached so they can experience what it feels like to be coached by a millionaire. Okay. So, number one, how did you choose the first thing to sell? Pretend I'm not selling anything just now. Because most people don't fail because they are lazy. They fail because they're selling the wrong thing. How did you choose the first thing to sell?
So it was the first program that I bought, to be quite frank. And I went in and I asked myself this honest question. Is this product going to benefit somebody else? And the answer was yes. Now, what are the marketable areas of this program? And I was able to pick out a few. And I said, okay, this is good enough for me. So, I think the first thing is to understand your product. When you understand your product, you are able to understand who this product is for, how you can position it to those people that your product is made for. Because you can have a good product. If you don't understand that product, you will not even be able to sell the product to start with. The person who desperately needs that product will be sitting right in front of you and you cannot sell it to them. And then you jump from buying this product to buying this product to buying this product to buying the product is not a problem. You may be the person who has the problem. So I would say it was luck because the product I started with was a good one. And I did go into the program. I was able to identify key things that could benefit people, and that was my selling point. And that's how I started.
Okay. Number two, how, Precious, I don't know if I'm going to ask,
Okay.
how do you handle negative energy, negative comments, negative feedback? A lot of students quit after one comment. Some people actually don't start because of what people will say about them.
Mhm. Okay. So this one is as somebody who is a customer of negative as somebody who is a customer, somebody that, it comes every now and then. I'd say the first time I had a backlash was last year, March, when I started my journey. It was just 1 month into my journey. And I was so happy I had made 100,000
You were
pounds, but
excited. You wanted to tell
I
the
didn't understand that my happiness is not every other person's happiness.
world.
And I was saying it as loud as I could, trying to tell my fellow immigrants that there's road, yeah, oh.
Your heart, you were trying to save them.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to tell
Like,
them that I
come,
just
you
made
need to come, you need to come. There's money
come
here.
and join, this thing is working, and then hmm, hey, there's nothing they did not say. I don't look like who has made 100K. If you make 100K, they'll come and arrest you in this country. People that have never made
Ah,
100,000 pounds, that 100,000 has not entered their account, know what it will look like more
oh,
than people that have
goodness.
made it. And those are the speculations, those are the limiting mindset. And even now that I've made over 1 million, nobody has come to ask me any question. The bank has not even called me to say, what's
What
up? You know,
they know
so
how
but there were
they're tracking everything. Everything
there,
happens
there,
online.
there were a lot of things people said, and I felt bad at some point. I remember on one live stream like that, I was so angry and I even broke down. So I had to end my live stream, and I wanted to stop. But I didn't stop because this thing was paying me despite anything anybody had to say. And I think that was my biggest motivation. And I know you may feel like, oh, I've not gotten to the point where it is paying me yet. You will not get there if you stop anyways. So I continued. Do you know that 1 year later, I I am in a much more better financial situation, much more better financial tax bracket than the people who had a lot of things to say. So I think you have to understand that people will always have opinions. If you do well in life, they will talk. If you are not doing well, they will talk. You are broke, oh, they will talk. But would you rather be broke and let them talk or have money and let them talk? So you want to have money and let people talk. Let them do the talking while you do the earning. So you need to understand that your why should keep you going, because it's easy for people to say, and there's something Coach Hidaya says. She says sad people want to make other people sad, or hurt people hurt people. You need to understand that the person that is saying all of these things, they are not saying it from a place of they hate me. They are saying it because they want me to be as miserable as they are. They want me to be in the same financial bracket. They've made up their mind that they don't want to be successful. So they don't want to see any other person be successful. So you want to ask yourself, would you rather be stopped by opinions of people who don't pay your bills, or would you rather succeed at these things? And do you know the funny thing? A lot of people that had so many things to say to me last year ended up becoming my students, ended up becoming my mentees.
Yay.
When they couldn't when they couldn't beat me, they joined me. So it's just a case of you have to prove yourself right. Don't try to prove anybody right. Prove yourself right, because unbelievers will become believers at the end of the day
That's
if you
just
keep
like you
going.
said, when you know what you know and you know it really well, you will be able to prove yourself right. It's called confidence. But a lot of people, what they have problems with, especially when they're selling other people's products, is that they don't take the time to actually study the product and
No,
they just want to pack and ship as like an outfit. Like how you buy an outfit from Alibaba and you want to sell it on social media. You're not going to have the confidence. You're not going to talk in a way that
they
people will
don't
buy
even understand it.
it.
Sometimes I see them,
You
they don't even know how to explain
got
what they have.
the formula. You only took two modules and now you want to sell it to get $100. It's not going to happen because you yourself don't even understand what you're selling.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to work. So I love that. And I've seen you a couple of times, like, see, this is the thing about being successful. You're going to have a lot of haters. Another thing about it is because as a coach, you're a public eye. Regardless of if you are successful or broke, you're going to have haters. But when you
Mhm.
are a public eye in the internet, people find easy access to just pour their negativity on you. Every negative comment you see on your post, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with that person. That person
Absolutely.
doesn't know you from Adam. They are just sad. They are just depressed and they're looking for an avenue to pour it out. And negative information, it draws more attention than positive information. This is
Mhm.
why Fox 8, NTA News, what is the other one? AIT, all the things that we watch, they're always going to make money because 90% of the news is negative news. And this is how
Mhm.
the brain is wired. People will connect when they have a common enemy. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so just be
Mhm.
mindful of that because those comments are gonna come. Sometimes I'm on my live and people will come on my live. Somebody come on my live the other day. She was like, you speak proper English. Like this, you got dark skin, you got tribal marks on your face. You're from Nigeria. Like, why are you trying to sound American? I said, I'm not even trying. This is just who I am. But that person couldn't handle it in their head. They were thinking that I was trying to fake. No, I'm just being the best version of myself. I won't speak Yoruba like an American, and I won't speak English like a Nigerian because it's not our language. I will speak it the exact way I know it's proper to speak. But people will always have something to say, regardless. I'll rather be rich and they talk. Let them talk while I go get my Birkin bag.
Mhm.
Next question: marriage and money. Has
Mhm.
marriage helped or challenged you as an entrepreneur? I know you're newly married.
Yeah, I think marriage even makes it, you are thinking of, before I got married, oh, it was my family. Now you're thinking of your immediate family. I think marriage sort of puts you on, I need to make more. There are people that are on, there are children that are on the way that I need to make more. The experiences that I had as a child growing up, I had a lot. I don't want my children to have to, I know they will not even. So, anyways, but I don't want them to have to experience that. And that is why even I'm working twice as hard as I would normally do, just to make sure that my family is good. And I love the fact that, growing up, I always thought, oh, I'm going to be the wife of a rich man. I'm going to all of those things. why can't I be the rich wife, And that mindset shaped me a lot. I just did my birthday last week and I spent close to £100,000 on a car for my birthday gift. Now, that's something that I can buy without batting any eyes and know that I can afford it. And my child can say, "Oh, I want us to go to Disney," and I'm not saying, "Wait, I have to save 6 months for it."
Yes.
Or my child is saying, "I want to," no. So I think it sort of even encourages me more to work harder, and I want to be a rich wife. I want to be a rich mom. I want to be that mom that can possibly provide the best that I can for my children. And I think even money makes a marriage even sweeter, to be quite frank. Nobody is struggling to, you're not waiting for a man to do everything. So the respect is there. My husband knows he has a trophy wife. And, so it is good. I think money makes everything better, to be quite frank. And if you're somebody who is married, I want you to know that some of the marital issues you're having is because there's no money. If there's money, you probably will not be arguing a lot. You will not be thinking 2 times. So just try. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah.
I like to say this, and people get stunned when I say it. I've been married for 18 years, so there's nothing that cannot come out of my mouth. Money will make women wet.
Mm.
Like when women have the money, they have the relief, they have the calmness. See,
Yeah.
women do things from emotion, men do things from logic. Regardless if a man is tired. As a matter of fact, when they are tired is when they want to go down the more.
Mm.
But women, when we are tired, we don't want to be touched. Think about the things that make us tired the most: picking up overtime, packing shifts, being on your feet for 5 hours, for 10 hours, for 16 hours, getting injuries from work. Imagine if you didn't have to do that and you only had to dedicate 2 to 3 hours a day in your house. When your husband says yes, you will say yes, 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 and not those no's. And now you're not putting your relationship at risk. I've lived there for way too long not to know. Now you're not, oh my God, it's always money, 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 money. The number one cause of divorce is not cheating, it is bills. Arguing over bills is what actually causes the divorce in the Western world. So if we can combat that through digital products, this is why I say making money is not just being rich, it's a lifestyle change. Like now you have ease.
It's
I
a mindset shift. Everything
I
just
I,
flows.
I see money as oxygen. O2, you breathe, but when you have enough money, when you check your bank balance, you're not anxious. When your child comes back from home and says, "Mom, we're going to a field trip," and they said we should put in $100, your mind is not racing. When your child said, "Mom, my friend went to Disney World, can we go too?" You're not feeling sad because now you know you have it. Money is the second kind of oxygen that helps you breathe better. A lot of people that are suffering from anxiety and think they are depressed right now, they are not depressed. They're just dollar deprived and they are pound assaulted. If they could learn how to make a little bit more money, multiply their income by 5, by 10, all those sorrow, it will go away. It will vanish.
Mhm.
They won't even know where it comes from. From nowhere, they'll just be laughing like a fish. I tell people that all the time because I lived it. I'm a living experience. Okay, so that takes us to our next question. Precious, what do you do behind the scenes that nobody sees? Like a lot of times people see Range Rover, like they saw your Benz. Even do you drive now? Because I
The Range Rover. No, I have my test next month, so
okay,
hopefully.
okay.
Mm.
So they see the Range Rover, they see the G Wagon, they see the Benz. What sacrifice did people not see behind your success?
Learning. I spend so much time learning and I always pay for knowledge. Like I remember when I wanted to learn sponsored ads, even before it came into my community, I paid somebody and I'm like, you know what, I want you to teach me sponsored ads. And I took my time, I learned how to run meta ads. And all of those things make it so easy for me that, oh, when I now do my post and then I'm getting traction. Somebody sitting somewhere saying, "Oh, it's luck." It's not luck, it's planning, it's strategy. So I learn sometimes I take my time, I create content, I take my time, I create um posts that I'm going to, use for my content. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes, and I run a community. My community has over 7,000 people, so you can imagine how crazy it is. I do my research because for every time I'm coming to teach my mentees or my students, I have to do a fresh learning because it's not just them learning, I'm also learning, and I like to come with new things all the time. So there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that's not just when you come and flash that, oh, you've bought this, you've bought that. There's a lot of hard work people don't see. And I think one of the biggest hard work or one of the biggest things that can happen to you that would change the game is to spend so much time in learning, because when you spend so much time in learning, executing won't be really difficult. Even these live streams that we talk about all the time, I spend time watching other people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. What are they doing? Sometimes I'm watching to find faults. Sometimes I'm watching to learn. I'm watching to see what did they do? Why are they not closing sales? When I see people struggling to close sales, I'm like watching and I can tell what they've done wrong. And when I see somebody closing a ridiculous amount of sales, I'm picking up what they've done right. So sometimes you're not just learning the good things, you're also learning what not to do. So there's a lot of learning that goes behind the scenes, a lot of planning. I tell my mentees that even for every time I come in live stream, I'm not just accidentally coming. I've already prepared what to say, what my CTA is going to be, what my offer is going to be on that live stream, and how that live stream is going to go. Nothing happens by accident. You don't For every time people need to see you physically, there should be intentionality behind it, planning that goes inside of it. And of course, I spend so much time also executing. That 3 hours you see me on live stream, I'm not there to play. I don't just like to talk, So so you wonder, oh, is it just sitting on it? Like, yes, sometimes it can be as simple as spending 2 to 3 hours a day talking about your product. I've been on a live stream before and I'm closing thousands of sales. I know I've closed £12,000 in sales before on a live stream, 5,000, 3,000. That's a lot of money, and what would I be doing lying on my bed and not doing that? So, yes, there's a lot of planning, execution that goes behind the scenes that people don't see. And I think people need to spend more time in learning, implementing, and not just, waiting around to for manna to fall from heaven. It's only snow that is falling these days. Manna doesn't fall anymore.
I believe that manna is already here. You're just not getting it. You
Yeah.
receive the manna. Manna is everywhere. Like it's evenly distributed, but it's a low-hanging fruit. But people are overthinking just plucking it. Like
Mm,
I'm a true believer that everything God has given us in abundance. Your
mm,
problem is your mindset is not abundant, so your bank account is broke. Like that's just what it is. So
mm.
another question: what did you outsource first? Many people think doing everything themselves so they can keep all the money is the key. What was the first thing you delegated and at what income level?
Um, okay, so I think one of the first things I did was my social media. I got a social media manager really fast because I always say that there's a thin line between when somebody wants your product and when they are no longer interested. And because I wanted to spend so much time in learning, creating my own assets, because shortly after I got started, I knew that I had to create my own digital asset. So while I was working on that, I was focusing on creating content. And while I created my content and posted, I was sure that anybody that makes any inquiry like that, bam, they are getting a response. Somebody's attending to them. And it makes things really fast for me. Even till now, I have social media managers across all my platforms. I just need to post the content, and although I have like my social media is segmented, so there are some rest DMs from people that I flag. My social media managers know not to respond to those people. I'm the one in charge of responding. And then there are the general inquiries that they sort out, they deal with. So that was one of the first things that I did. And I also, as at the time I started for my graphics, for some of my work, I outsourced it because I wasn't, I already had the idea. I wasn't looking for perfection. I just knew it had to be good enough. And if there's something that I can pay for to make my life easy, I didn't want to spend so much time. So I know that I outsourced the person who did some graphics for me, and then just but right now I have a lot of people that are running my community for me, my admins, my coaches and stuff. But yeah, I think when I started, it was just my social media, because I always even tell my mentees that you don't have to say, oh, I'm busy with work. Outsource it. And if you make your post, in fact, you can even get people that would post your content, that will create content for you, post it for you. They just need to understand the memo, or you can create your content, schedule your post, outsource it. So even when you are busy at work, somebody is running your business. A lot of businesses do it, food companies. And the owner of Asda is not the one running the Asda page. The owner of Target is not the one running Target social media. There are people that are doing that. And if you outsource certain things, you make more money because it will make your life easier. You can focus on what's truly important. And that's it.
I love it. So my next question, which usually people think they are disadvantaged, which I think you use to your advantage. Most immigrants see being an immigrant at disadvantage. What advantage do immigrants have that they often overlook?
Um, well, see, being in a country as an immigrant, you can either use that as an excuse to remain poor or as a leverage to grow higher. And I say that our job, what we do, our business does not care if you're an immigrant, if you're a citizen, whoever you are. It just needs you to be somebody who shows up. And as an immigrant, being in a country that is not really yours, one thing that you can do is to plan your life, is to map out what you need to do. I think people get overwhelmed because they don't do proper planning. Plan your job, plan your life. When you're not working, what am I going to be doing? When I'm not doing my 9 to 5, what am I going to be doing with my 5 to 9 to make ends meet? Must I take this bank shift that is available? Must I take this overtime that is available? I will not necessarily say there is an advantage of being an immigrant or not. All I'm going to make clear is that the business that we do does not really care whether it's a business that does not ask you for your citizenship. It doesn't ask you for it doesn't care if you're educated or not. It doesn't care anything. It's a business that if you are serious with it, it's going to reward you. Like, I don't know any of that British citizen that has made £1 million in a year. I don't know. I'm an immigrant. So there was no special bonus they gave to me. I'm just somebody who is determined. And, I know that there's a lot of things that I can achieve. There are a lot of people that are looking up to me. If you want to use that as an advantage, fine. Coach Idai, I don't know which other advantage. But yes, if you think that maybe the black tax or the bills from home will push you to succeed more, fine. But me, I can only say that this is the best business that anybody can do, because there is no requirement whatsoever in terms of what you must what you must submit. In fact, the amount of time I spent looking for a job in a country that is not mine, that wanted me to have experience in those areas, if I had started this business on time, in fact, I know where I would have been today. So please, if this is something that you have chosen to do, focus on it and make it work for you.
I would argue that you do have an added advantage. I feel like you being an immigrant, because
Mhm,
of the way immigrants' mindset is, like, we just have to be here and stay in
mhm,
the lane. Like, we have a mindset of, oh, you're a visitor, so you have to stay in your lane. So you came with I don't have no lane. Like, nobody's going to put me in a box. That
mhm,
erupts the sea. It's like dropping a big rock inside water. It makes people pay attention.
mhm,
It makes people pay attention. So I feel like your added advantage is the fact that you are an immigrant. you don't talk like the British people. You represent the people that feel like they're not well represented in the wealth space. A lot of times when we come in here, we want to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, an engineer. Nobody comes here with the intention of, I want to be a digital product asset creator. I want to be a business owner. Only rarely people come to this country to think from Africa that they want to start a business. It's usually I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my nursing degree.
Oh, if that's what you mean, then yes, of course. Because I sell my like when I'm talking, I have already niched down my target audience. So I don't speak to everybody. I
Yeah,
know
you
the
pick the
people that my
immigrants. Like even the way
yes,
you talk, you
I
still
know
pick
the people
that.
that my product is for. I know the people who I want to sell to. I know, in fact, even in the whole category of immigrants, I still have the immigrants that I am more interested in, which, the carers, like I had said before,
Yeah,
people who are doing the low paying jobs, those are my target audience.
yes,
And as an immigrant, you can also use yourself as a yardstick. Like I said, position yourself. That thing that is supposed to limit you, that thing that is supposed to be an excuse, is what you're going to use to encourage the next person that I'm doing this. I came from Nigeria to this country. I don't know anybody. I have been here. All the struggles that you've passed through as an immigrant, that's supposed to be the story that is going to help you close your sales. That's supposed to be the story that is going to help you push your digital product to the person who truly, truly needs it. So yes, if that's what you meant by your question, yes, then
yes. That's
you have an advantage because you have so many people that just need an example, and you can be positioned as somebody who has been there, done that, and who is still doing it, and they would follow suit.
Yes, absolutely. And people think when they niche down, when they have like their audience, they feel like only their audience will buy. It doesn't limit you. Just because you focus on immigrants doesn't mean Americans won't buy. Just
Hmm.
because you focus on Americans doesn't mean immigrants won't buy.
Other people won't buy,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you have to have a niche because when you are selling to everybody, you are selling to nobody. I tell people that all the time. One of my students just dropped, I'm not an immigrant, and I got one of your programs. Absolutely. Because I even say, like, I serve women, but as you can see, I have men in my audience. Like, I won't say, oh, because you're a man. No, but I represent the women that I was raised by a single parent. My mom had to do everything by herself. Like if she didn't know how to do business, we'd be in trouble. She would have to stay in that toxic relationship, and we would be in trouble. Well, she's going to talk about her products in a minute, Miss Samba. She's going to talk about her products in a minute. I have two more questions for you, patients.
Hmm. Okay.
Precious, sorry. Um, this is a tough one. Okay, this is the one that will probably blow people's minds. Right, this is like a hot seat question.
Mhm.
What is something people think they need to become wealthy that they actually don't need?
Um, I'm going to say a lot. That's That's going to be my answer. People think that they need a lot. You think you need to be this, you need to be that, you just need to be somebody who is determined, to be quite frank. When I started, I did not start out thinking that I'm going to be this person who is a seven-figure coach. I did not. That is the fact. And the more I kept going, the more, bright I saw my future. The more, I saw that, oh, this thing is working. And I want to say that a lot of people, I've had mentees who make 50K and then they just stop. In their
Yeah,
head, I've made all
they've
that
got
is there to
comfortable.
be. They get comfortable. So you don't need too much. You think you need all the followers in the world. You think you need the perfect lighting. With all the money I have, it's just one ring light I have in my room.
Good
I see some people that will spend money buying these gadgets, buying
camera.
this. You think that they are going to shoot, Hollywood action.
Obama.
You don't need a lot. I have one tripod. I make my video sitting in this corner of my room. This is where I go live streaming.
This
This
is
is
my
where I
room
make,
too. This is my bedroom. This is
yeah,
the
this is where
corner
I
of
make
my
my
room.
less is more. Less is more. You don't need a lot. To be quite frank, if you want to be, I'll rather focus on what you need. You need the spirit of consistency. That is what kills a lot of people. People are not consistent. And if you are not somebody that is not consistent, you will never be successful. And that's why people don't take you serious, because they know that you started this business, you started this one, you started that, now you say you want to do digital product, and you just keep eating apples and dropping it everywhere. Make something work for you. You need consistency. In fact, when you start making money, you can then invest into other things that will give you money, more money. So you don't need a lot. You just need the right mindset, and you don't have to pay to have the right mindset. It's a conditioning, you know. Condition yourself that I can create what I can be successful. It is in my power. And it is the decisions that I take today that will amount for what I'm going to become tomorrow. The habits that I constantly do today, and I always say there are so many options for people. If you are somebody that don't want to go live streaming, you can do faceless marketing. If you don't want to do faceless marketing, you can do influencer marketing. If you don't want to do that, you can do paid sessions, paid classes, paid webinars.
One.
You have so many options. If you want to create wealth, you have to be resourceful. Don't think, oh, paying for a product will mean that the coach will have to think for you, implement for you, because remember that coach is trying to make more money as well. There's only so much you can do for somebody, right? If somebody has given you yam and has given you knife, what do you need to do is to cut your share out of what you want and start cooking. Don't be the person that gets into something. You're asking, what next? What do I do? When they say do this, you come back, you say, what next again? That's not the behavior of somebody that wants to create wealth. Every rich person today is somebody who is thinking smart, is somebody who you just give them a little idea and they make it work. They are not making excuses. You don't need a lot. You just need to get started. Procrastination will kill you. It will leave you where you are. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You start today, you start consistently, and you show up regardless of how you feel, and gradually you are going to make it. The same way you got into this business. It's the same way I got into this business. It's the same way she got into this business. Nobody woke up one day and knew any. I didn't even know what digital product was until February of 2025. I had no clue. In fact, I had bought several in the past, but I didn't know what they were, because I every day I'm losing weight. I've bought this weight loss planner or this one. I didn't know what they are. These things have been existing for years and years and years. But it's not that it's become so rampant, so easy for everybody to eat out of the national cake. So grab yours now. It's not going to stop anytime soon, but get started. Start implementing. Stop making excuses. I don't want to see you the same place you are right now in the next 2 months, in the next 1 month. In fact, we're going to do a challenge at the end of this session, so people need to get right on it. So you have so many options. You don't need a lot. Don't overthink it. Just get started and you figure things along the way.
As a matter of fact, you're the first guest speaker in our challenge, because we started a challenge. I think it's 1 week now. We started it on my birthday. It's gonna end on my birthday. And the challenge is to get people out of their own way. Because just like you said, nobody's coming to your home to come spoon feed you. Nobody to anybody. And we've always been consuming digital products. If you have ever went to school online before, like an online university, that was somebody's digital product. They recorded all the sessions. They give you all the ebooks that you're reading. And once in a while, they show up. That's the one-on-one call. They show up and they tell you a little bit, and they tell you to go figure the rest out. And how much did you pay? $50,000 for that online university. And you didn't even blink, right? And you get to pay that 50,000 back in 10 years, and you end up paying $150,000 back. But just because you are paying it itty bitty, it doesn't sense to you that, oh, I'm paying way more than I should be. And at the end of the day, you can't even get a job from that degree that you got online. That's another story for another day. But I feel like it's a blessing to have you in this village today. And you have poured into us so much. These will be the last two questions that I'm going to ask you for today. If you have questions, I'm only going to take 3 questions today, because we're not going to keep Coach Precious waiting for the children and the children to come. I pray that your legacy becomes so big. It's not just in the UK. It's just not, it's in the whole world. I pray that you become that source of inspiration for people that people can look up to so that they can become a better version of yourself. I don't think you understand how much I appreciate you. I know we found each other online, but it's common to me when I see Nigerian women, especially, doing great on the internet. I will always stop to listen, like, oh yeah, show them something, say it. I will always cheer them on. I will always support them. I will always. So I just want to take this moment to appreciate you, Precious. I really,
Thank you so much.
I love how much you pour into people, and I pray that God continues to give you strength to continue to keep going. So here
Thank
goes.
you, everybody. Thank you so much.
As
Thank you.
here goes my last two questions.
Okay.
If you were coaching me personally, and you looked at my life, my content, my business, and my income today, what would you tell me to stop doing immediately?
You?
Mhm.
Um, take your question again.
Okay, let me give it to you again. If you were
Okay.
coaching me personally
Mm-hmm.
and you looked at my life, the little that you know about me,
Mm-hmm.
my business, my income today, I feel like you have an idea. What would
Mm-hmm.
you tell me to stop doing immediately?
Hmm. This one is consultation question, no. um, Kochidaya, this one you're putting me on the spot.
It's a
And this is
it's a hot seat question.
yes, it is. Um, hmm. You want me to now
Just
like
just one, the one that you can just think of, not a full consultation, but just one.
mm,
If I need a consultation, I'll call you.
I know, I know. I have one, but I'm not going to say it here. Sorry.
Oh, okay,
Sorry. I'm not going to say it here.
okay,
Just yeah.
okay.
Because
So,
it's if there was somebody else that I could, but no, let's move to the last one.
okay, so the last question: 5 years from now,
Mhm.
what will separate the people in this room who become wealthy from those who stay stuck?
The people who take action today. That's what is going to separate us. Like in the next 5 years, you look back and you wish you had started today. And starting does not mean buying a product or because a lot of you today is not the day you started. You probably got into this village 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but still you haven't started. And in the next 5 years, what is going to separate you from the people who are successful is the decision that you make today. Um, 1 year ago, I used to make £10 per hour. That is below minimum wage in the UK. And that's because I was on a visa that was very restricted and I was working for an employer who was not following the rules. And the minimum wage in the UK at the time was £12.44, but I was being paid £10 per hour. And this would have been my life for the next 5 years. But the moment I saw an opportunity, I didn't overthink it. I took a chance on myself. And I didn't just pay for my first ever digital product that taught me. That is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They think paying is where it ends. Paying, you can pay for anything. You pay for wigs, you pay for food. It is what you do with the information that sets you apart. Because that same program and product that I purchased February 16th of last year, thousands of people purchased it. Some people are complaining about that product. Some people are saying the product is the reason why they did not become a millionaire. The money they spent, they would have added it and bought wigs. And that singular product is what changed the game for me. And it is the way I utilized the information I received. I always tell my mentees, everybody will pay unit tuition. Everybody will get into university. Not everybody will graduate. Some people will drop out. Some people will come out with a first class. Some people will get expelled. Some people will come out with a 2-1 like I did. But it was the same university, the same lecturers, the same course outline. the same examination, but different interpretation of the program, different commitment to success. I want you to be so committed that people are begging you to slow down. I want you to put in so much work that you never have to worry about. See, sometimes, you did ask me this question before now, the negative comment. Sometimes all it takes for me is to open one of my bank accounts. When I look at the figures there, see, there's nothing you can say to me. If I feel so bad, sometimes I just need to open. I have three, no, four, but three heavy ones. I just open one and I see it and I smile. And I'm like, even if I don't work for the next 5 years, I'm good. And that is true because I can't, this money, I cannot finish it except I want to go and start, spending stupidly. But there's so much that I am good to go. So, and this is not something that is unattainable. I keep telling anybody, if I can do it, you can do it because there's so much that would have stopped me, but it didn't stop me. And don't think, oh, it's because she's young, she's this, I've seen 19-year-olds do it, 16-year-olds do it, 50-year-olds. Today, I reposted something on my Instagram story about a 54-year-old woman who bought a BMW. If you know me on social media, you can check on Instagram. She bought a BMW. She started digital products 6 months ago. She's made 181,000 US dollars. She's American at 54. So there is no excuse. Just get started because if you don't start today, there will be somebody in this room today that will be in a much more better place because they got serious today, and two of you got the same information, but one person made it work for them. So yeah.
So you talk about a challenge. You said you wanted to challenge the village, but before you challenge,
Yes.
I want to tell them about your products and
Mm.
where they can find you on all social media platforms. If you can drop it in the chat, even better.
Oh, okay. So my product is it's called, I do have quite a lot of products, but yeah, I have one for my AI community. That one is a monthly subscription. I have one my for people who live in Nigeria, Africa, and then I have another one for it's not a high ticket, but it's a normal ticket product program. It has multiple streams of income. So I give sort of options because I know not everybody wants to do digital products. Some people are into buying and selling. You have to be careful on TikTok because I have a lot of people impersonating me on TikTok. You have to be extremely careful. I have over 50 accounts. In fact, that was one of the issues I had where a lot of people were scammed by my impersonators and they thought it was me. So you have to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
Yes, so I do have my main digital product that I promote consistently is called the Ultimate Wealth Academy. It's a self-paced learning program, has multiple streams of income, digital product, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, UGC. So it has like over 10 streams of income. And yeah, so that's basically it. So what the program basically does is for people who want to do affiliate marketing, they don't have to be stuck on just, digital products. You can either do your affiliate marketing or do your drop shipping or do all of them have different income. And I always tell my people that the biggest stream of income is digital products, right? So if you're somebody who wants to make £10,000 in a month, you're not going to be doing drop shipping and expect to make that, except you now add the digital that's monetizing the knowledge from the drop shipping that you know into it. So yeah, that's that for my product. My name on Instagram is Precious Subani underscore. On TikTok is Precious Willingham. So Instagram is a bit sensitive. So we're not changing any names now until we understand what Mark Zuckerberg is doing because people keep getting their accounts banned on Instagram. But for
Great.
TikTok is Precious Willingham. Yeah, and those are like my official page. So now, the challenge that I want you to do is tomorrow is the 1st of June, right? And we are going to set a goal. I always do this sometimes with my mentees. We're going to set a goal. And the reason I don't like to call a lot of money is because I don't want to scare you. but we're going to set a $2,000 goal for the month of June. $2,000 online. And how are we going to make it? We're going to pick a single product, one platform, and we're going to consistently promote it. Now, if you want to make $2,000 in the month of June, let's do the calculation. If you have a product that is priced at $100, you're going to divide $100, $2,000 divided by 100. And that will tell you how many times you need to sell that product to make $2,000. If you want to make more, just do that simple maths. And so let's bring out our calculator. So we're not shooting too much. We're doing 2,000 divided by 100. So if your product is $50, $100, 150, do the same math. That equals to 20 times. You need to sell your product 20 times in the month of June. How many days do we have in the month of June? How many days? Is it 30 or 31 days? We have
30.
30 days in the month of June. So if you can sell your product once every day, you will even make 3,000. If you can sell it 5 times a week, you will make that 20 sales. Now, you're going to choose how you want to implement. You want to do it going live streaming on Facebook, on TikTok, which I highly recommend. Good. You're going to start out. You want to do it by posting on different groups, do it. You're going to show up consistently regardless. If you're on Facebook, Facebook is a place where you can make money as well. Get into those groups, post on your social media. I say if people have not started blocking you because you are making too much noise, then you've not started. I want you to be as loud as you can. This June can shock you because this $2,000 can sound like a lot, but it's not. It's not, and there are people who make that in hours. I know Coach Idaya can relate. So when we say 2,000, I'm saying it because I want to believe that I'm speaking to a lot of beginners, right? I don't want to paint a picture for you. I used to tell my mentees that if I make 2,000 in a day, I'll go and cry, but for you, we're setting it as a goal. 20 times you need to sell your product. If you've done your mathematics and you need to sell your product 10 times, we are going to do that in the month of June. So you're going to pick one product. If you haven't created yours yet, you can affiliate a product that has already been done for you. Understand that product, promote it like your life depends on it, whether you make sales or not. That 20 sales can be made in a week. Don't say because I've shown up 5 days, I've not sold. Let me go and see that. That's not how it works. You can make 10 sales in a day. You can make 5 sales in a day, right? So you're going to pick a product. You're going to go live consistently. You're going to promote it and you're going to make that. That's a challenge. And if you can do that, if you don't make 2,000, you haven't failed. The goal is to get you started on selling, right? If you make more, congratulations. If you don't make that, but you made something, then you have hacked it. You've started your journey. Keep at it. Be consistent. And always, one thing I always say to people, always reevaluate your strategies. Don't say I'm consistent and I'm not making sales. You can be consistently doing the wrong things. So consistency does not always mean that you now stop review. You have to review your content. You have to review your live streams, review what you're doing that has made you not to be successful, not to close sales, and follow like-minded people. Follow people that are doing what you're doing. If by now, when you go on TikTok, you're not seeing digital marketers everywhere, you are wrong. I want that your FYP on TikTok or even Instagram is filled with people that are doing the same thing, because sometimes you can see a post from them and it just inspires you. Sometimes you may not want to go live streaming, you just see them on live. You know what? You clear your camera, you go and sit down. That's what I want you to do. Before I leave, I just want to encourage you that it is possible, it is doable, And, stop feeling pity for yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. If you don't save yourself, nobody's coming to save you. The most people can do is tell you sorry, sympathize with you. After the second time, they'll stop picking your call because you are now a burden to them. Try um to try for your actions to match your words. You want to be successful, act it. You want to make money, act like you want to make it. It is those, see how habits are built. The daily things that you do, the conscious things that you do every day is how you end up building habits. So yes, if you've not started implementing, please start implementing this June. And so you can end this June as somebody who is a four-figure earner or five-figure earner by the grace of God. Thank you, everybody.
Let's give it up for Miss Precious, Coach Precious. You did awesome. Thank you so much for showing up today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I really appreciate you. Let's show some love.
Thank you.
Let's drop
Thank you
some.
so much.
I don't see anybody raise any hands, so I'm assuming nobody has questions. Thank you once again, Precious, and I'll be in touch. Love
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, everybody.
I do have a question.
Thank you.
Did someone say she has a question?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello first.
Hi.
And sister, where is going? Ah, where is my thing? Oh no.
Okay, what's your question?
Hello.
We can hear you.
Abdul, my thing is my question is how to make the product.
How to create your product?
Yeah, how to create the product. I'm new and I was coming here. I know the thing is going on. So I wanted to know how to do it.
I want to believe that you've gotten the boss of your skill formula. Don't you have that?
Yes, I do have that.
That's exactly what the product teaches you how to do, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Have you gone through it?
Yes, I was creating something, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I'm so confused. I don't know, my mind
So
is
your
not the
product
same
can
way.
either your asset or your product can be what you want it to be. It can be an ebook, it can be
Mm-hmm.
a course. My first ever digital asset was an ebook, and it was an ebook of TikTok shop affiliates because that's what I was doing at the time. And I
Okay.
created it based off of what I knew about TikTok shop with the help of ChatGPT. So I don't know what it is that you're creating, but I'm going to encourage you to, I think you need to spend more time in studying your product. And I always tell people as well, if I believe not everybody has to be a creator. The Chidaya may have another may not agree, but I believe that not everybody
Okay.
must be a creator. If you're somebody who is not confident in creating a product, or you feel like affiliating a done for you product is going to be easier for you, or is going to get you started on your feet, you can simply get a product that has been done for you. What you will now do is to spend time, understand the product, understand the benefit, and then that becomes your asset that you can resell once and forever, and just get your commissions from your product. But if you want to create a product, then you need to study the boss of your skill formula more and follow the steps there.
Mm. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate what you teach us today.
You're welcome.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
Now you're next.
Yes. Sorry, this is Kemi. Thank you so much, Coach Precious. I just want to ask you what's the meaning of UCG? I've been hearing
UGC,
it around, but I
user
don't know.
user
Yeah, UCG,
generated
yes.
content. User generated content. That's when brands pay you to make videos for them and you send them to them, send it back to them. So you don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to have the large followings. It's a stream of income that can be done completely faceless. What happens is you create a portfolio that covers your rate cards, and then you reach out to brands, pitch to them, send them your rate, send them how much you love their product and how you like to create content for them. These brands will pay you because you are not a popular person, you are not an influencer. They want organic videos that looks like an end user is reviewing the product, not somebody that is paid for. So even if they are paying you, another person watching it just feels like it's very organic. It wasn't paid for. And then when you are done creating this content, you send it back to the brands and they are the ones to post it on their page. So it's a very smart way people are earning now. And you don't have to, be perfect when it comes to filming, but you do need to have some content creation experience to be able to do UGC.
Okay, thank you so much. God
Well,
bless.
Tina, 1 minute.
Hello, thank you so much, Precious, for your time today. Really appreciate all you've taught. So my question is, I've written an ebook, but the thing is that I'm worried about if I go online, like on TikTok, to go and be talking about it. Is that the best way to sell my books, or how do I go? Because I'm just thinking if I go online, I'm just telling them about my books, my book. How am I going to be able to sell it that
What's
way?
your book? What's your book on?
It's called it's something about
What's it
health
called?
challenges. It's health challenge, living well with health challenges. That's what it's called.
So what does your book do for somebody? If I was to buy your book, what's it going to do for me?
My book is to encourage people that are going through health issues. So many, if you're going to like blood pressure, all this, they're all there. It's an information book that will help you to encourage you to. So it's not a medical book,
Advice,
but
I
it
know.
is, yeah, but it's something that will help you to just get encouraged and know what next to step so that you can seek medical attention as well. So that's what the book is all about.
Okay. So who are your target audience for your book?
My target audience are those people that have health issues,
Okay. So
anyone that has health challenges.
okay. Where do you think people who have health challenges can be or can be found?
They're on TikTok, they're everywhere.
So have you started creating content that would educate people and inform them about your product? Because you don't just wake up one day and start going live streaming. That's a good way to sell your product. But when you're on live stream, there are two things that will likely happen when somebody comes across you. The first thing is they would go to your page to see what you have on your page. Your page should be able to tell them who you are, show them how organic you are, like this is what I do, and this
Yeah,
is, and you don't even have to go live all the time to sell your product, because your content can bring you clients. So if you have that book, which is an amazing book because it's in a niche which everybody wants to live long, everybody wants to be healthy, you need to start creating content that will resonate with people. And when you go live streaming, you're not going live streaming to be shouting, buy my ebook, buy my ebook, buy my ebook. You're
right.
going live streaming to be talking about certain health challenges. You can decide to pick one or two today, talk about
Yeah,
it on your live stream. When people ask questions, you do your call to action and you send them to your link in bio, right? So the idea
yeah,
people have is, oh, I have an ebook. I will go on live and come and say, come and buy my ebook or come. That's not how it works. You go on
yeah,
live, you're educating people about the product that you have.
yeah,
When you're done educating them, people are listening, you can then do your CTA and then close your sales. But first, you can post on TikTok, you can post on Instagram, Facebook feeds, and you can post on the Facebook groups that I talked about, and even WhatsApp. And like I said, when you're posting, you're not posting, come and buy my ebook. You are talking
yes,
about issues that your book addresses. You're talking
yes,
about the problems that your books solve. And then naturally, people will ask you to send the links to your product, but just get started with promotion anyways.
Thank you. That was my main thing. I was wondering, like you said, if you go on TikTok, you go and start saying, "Come and buy my book, come and buy," people will
No,
just
no, no,
switch
no,
off.
no,
So
no, no,
thank you. I wanted this
Yeah,
clarification. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Tina, I was
God
asking
bless.
what Coach Precious just said. In the formula, have you watched the magnetic marketing section where it teaches you how to actually create content that solves problems?
Oh, I have watched it, but not everything.
So you need to go watch
I
it.
wrote my book before I joined your course, so I'm still reading. I'm still going through.
Okay, so make sure you watch the marketing part like 7 times.
Mm,
Okay, I will do. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
okay.
Queen of Taste and then Amina, you both have 1 minute, please. We don't want to keep Coach Precious waiting.
Okay, thank you for letting me ask question. Hi, Coach Precious, how you doing? And thank you for all you did. And congratulations again.
Yes.
My question is how you beat procrastination, because that is my main problem. I bought this course since long time. It got everything inside. I go learn something from the formula and come back procrastinating or something like that. How do you beat that? And how can we do about the language? Because my main language is French and Wolof. So do I have to go on live and talk in my language or in French? Because I master it better. I think I master it better because it was the language I was using at school and everywhere in Senegal. So is it a barrier or
It's
is
not.
it an opportunity for you?
It's not.
And
In fact,
mm,
it's going to give you the right audience, to be quite frank. I did have a student who sold her digital product in our local dialect. When she goes on live streaming, she's speaking Yoruba. Yoruba is a dialect in Nigeria. So yes, you don't have to go on live stream and struggle with a language you're not familiar with. If you are very good in speaking French, speak French. The algorithm understands you. When you speak French, it's going to naturally push you to the French speaking part of TikTok. It would bring the people who understand you better. Now, when we talk about procrastination, I want you to understand that procrastination has killed a lot of dreams. A lot of people are poor today because they procrastinated. Look, there's a saying that the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago, but the next best time is today. I want you to understand that each time you procrastinate, you are missing out on opportunities. You are missing out what could have been. And that's not the life you want for yourself. So I want you to draw out a routine for yourself. If you know what your daily activities revolves around or involves, right? Draw out a routine and stick to um the business, right? Coach Idaya says stick to the formula. So if you know that you are free every 6 o'clock every day, no matter what it is, get yourself out of bed, push yourself out. And lastly, I want you to have people who have an accountability partner. I think that
mm,
would go a long way. Except you will now go and corrupt your accountability partner now. She will not start procrastinating like you. So get an accountability partner. There's something I have in my community. It may be amazing to have in your community as well. On the school side where you have the share your wins, you have this. I do have a segment for accountability partners where my mentees who are looking for people who they want to be accountable with, they go there, they say, oh, this is my name is this. I'm looking for an accountability partner who I can go live streaming with, who can
mm,
do this for me. And then people connect with them naturally. So it may be a
mm,
great way you can advertise yourself in the village and get people who are like-minded like you so that you help each other on the journey. But I
yeah,
want you to understand that you're missing out on a lot. Procrastination is eating you up, and you have to get power over it and don't let it continue to rule you anymore. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah. You had the secret to beat it. Every time you have to go to live or do something and something is saying, you
You
know,
just
you're
get started.
tired.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just get started. Like I said, I can be on my bed and the next thing I just stand up and I'm doing my makeup. Sometimes I even go live streaming to do my makeup to hold myself accountable so that when I'm done with my makeup, I'm going straight into selling my
Yeah.
product. So
Yeah.
I think you just have to push yourself. That's all it takes. Push yourself. I know it's not easy, but the life you want is on the other side of
Yeah.
what you're not doing right now.
Yeah. 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 Thank you again for everything.
You're welcome.
And then our last question, Aminat. Let's do it.
Yeah. Thank you once again. Sorry, thanks once again, Coach Precious. We appreciate your time. We know maybe we can't really afford you. Thanks to our Coach Idaya for bringing you to grace our village today. One of the things I see, or one of the gem I want to get from you is how do you plan to scale up? How do you plan to scale up or maybe like diversify or invest after you've garnered so much success? Because some of us are in this journey now. I just want us to be able to get that feel from you because you're there already. So I want us to know, like, okay, once we've started, getting all these bits and pieces of for now it's still 5 figures, then it's probably 6 figures, then it's going to grow to 7 figures by God's grace. But
Mhm.
when we get to that stage, how do how would you advise, how would you guide us to go about it and not feeling too much ahead of ourselves, something like that? Thank you.
Yeah, one of the biggest, I think, you know, it can be a little bit, some people make wealth, but to sustain wealth and to retain wealth is one of the biggest problems that a lot of people face. And since I started making money, one of my biggest fears is not making money again and making sure that I never go back to who I used to be. I do have a financial advisors and I've had a few investments here and there. So I think, like I always say, pay for sessions. When you start getting such level of income, it is good to pay people who can help you plan your income. So I do have somebody who helps me, tells me, oh, and I have some properties that sales are going to pull through on soon. So I'm just putting my money bits and pieces. And I do have plans to start a physical business as well.
Brilliant.
So there's a lot, and I still want to make money in the digital space. So all I'm going to say, when the time comes, you need to pay for consultations, get the best advice you can get, and put your money in different investment um, um,
Portfolios, kind of,
places.
yeah.
Yes, so that you never have to worry again, So yeah, I think it will naturally sort itself out. The moment I started making, I got a lot of, oh, I can do this for you, I can do so people will naturally come to you
Ooh,
in
okay.
long life and prosperity. So yes, yeah, I would say pay for people who are good at what they do because I know digital skills so well, but I don't know when it comes to investing. That's another person's digital asset as well.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that I had to pay for. Yes. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. That's nice to know. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
That's a
Thanks, Coach Idaya.
You're welcome. That was a really good question because I saw Coach Precious say she's now investing like a little bit of her money in gold. Like she used to be those people that say,
Mm.
"Why are you buying gold? That's a waste of money. That's the devil's work. That's the." And now she's buying
Wow.
gold to kind of like invest because, of course, gold always appreciates.
Appreciate it.
It never really depreciates. Thank you once again, Precious. Do you have any last words? So we call it.
So yes, let's be action takers because action takers are money makers, right? So let's take action this week. All the procrastinators in the building, Queen of Taste, don't procrastinate again. And the people that don't even know what they are creating, but they are creating something, continue creating. And the people who are yet to consume, see, your action today is not to go live. It can be as little as understanding the program that you have purchased. And trust me, I tell my students all the time, you are not reading to pass exam. You are not reading to go and apply for job. You are reading to make money. That is the point. That's the mindset you should have. Every time I learn, the reason I did not go through my driving test on time was because it was not going to give me money. It is now that I'm seeing the importance that I say, okay, baby is on the way.
Oh my
Oh, too many
goodness.
hospital appointments. So I cannot be carrying this thing like there
Yes,
are cars downstairs and I'll be
yes,
booking it. I'm like, you know
yes.
what? I need to get this out of the way. But trust me, if it was to make money since, I would have passed that driving test, you know? So you need to understand that what you're trying to learn is not just for learning's sake. It revolves around money and it should be your biggest motivator. Anyways, thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here. Hopefully we'll see again. Thank you so much, Coach Hidaya. God bless you and good night to everybody. It's
Thank you
already
so much,
five
Precious.
o'clock.
Goodbye,
All
Coach
right. Okay,
Precious.
bye
Thank
guys.
you.
Night.
Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.